Hi, everybody. Hi, this is James Van Prague, and welcome to SoulCARE on Mondays. I might start extending it even more because of the changes in the world that we have going on. And I think it's a good place to come to and have people to a space that people can come to together as a community and send out positive thoughts, prayers, energy, and be in a very lovely, positive space. So I am thinking about doing more often, this probably twice or three times a week. I'm in the middle of planning it. So I just want to let you guys know that. And if you are not yet on my email list, please definitely check, just register your email because a lot of new things are happening this year, and besides new websites that are coming out, and there's going to be kind of a social media on the website, so we can talk to other people in my community and school and so forth. So definitely register your email if you could. That'd be great. So I hope you're doing very well, everybody. Hope you had a nice weekend. I've been entertaining people at my house, and I'm tired now. No, I'm really not. I had a good time. I had some good friends come over and help me with some plans of maybe redesigning something in my bathroom or something. So it's been fun, and it's been fun meeting with people because it's been so long we didn't meet with people for a long, long time. Just a nice change. Although I think I noticed that I need another dog, so I might be getting a dog soon. We'll see about that. Hi, Verna. Hi, Julie. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Dominic and Catherine. Good afternoon, Mary, Diane, Rinaldi. Barbara, how are you doing? Barbara and Tricia, good to see you. I know it takes a while for everybody to get notified that I'm on, and as soon as I do, people find that they go to some place that they're outside. They go to a wall, or I sit under a tree, or I sit at a coffee place, or whatever, and they start listening. So thank you. And did you all watch the Academy Awards last night? Some did, some didn't. I didn't. I did some of it, but not all of it. And there are certain parts I like and certain parts I don't like. Will Smith got up and actually punched Chris Rock, and that was really not appropriate. Wrong, wrong, wrong. They should have kicked him out. Wrong. I know Chris Rock, nice man. It was just, and I don't know, the joke was not, it was just a joke, but I guess there was issues there. So anyway, that was not a nice thing. But I don't know half the movies anyway. So there you go. Things have changed so much in this world. Do you remember when there used to be a time you looked forward to the Academy Awards and it'd be an evening and you had people over and watch? And now because there's so many different streaming channels and spaces and places of seeing things, it's hard to know what's going on. So let's see. Hi, Marika from New Zealand. Wow, you're up early. Bless your heart. Thank you. You're up very early. Hello, Lucky Star. Good afternoon. Hello, Diana from Germany. How are you, my love? What part of Germany are you from? I love Germany. I might be going there in maybe in September. I'm thinking of going to Europe, so that might happen. We'll see what happens with the situation right now in the world. Uh, I know, forget the Academy Awards. I really don't even know the movies. It's funny. I don't really watch much anymore. I'm more important about the work that I'm doing and bringing healing to the planet and bringing the sense of diversity and oneness to us. He slapped Chris Rock. Chris Rock was a very nice man. I had Chris Rock on the road. I was doing a gig, I think somewhere in Tennessee or somewhere like that. And there was a big truck outside the hotel. It was, I guess, a trailer truck, I guess. And Chris Rock came in. He goes, "Hey, you're that guy that speaks to dead people." I said, "I am." He goes, "That stuff's real, isn't it?" I said, "It is." And I told him something kind of freaked him out. And he goes, "You're cool." I said, "You're cool too." We had a nice time. Nice man. I like Chris. Nice kid. Uh, hello, Angie from New Jersey. Yeah, so if you haven't yet put your email, register your email, please do. And I don't abuse emails, trust me. And you can always unsubscribe, but it's the best way to keep in touch with what's going on with me because, as I said, things are changing. I'm doing a lot of TikTok now, and a lot of psychic testing stuff. And we're doing a lot with the psychic certification course coming up, but a lot of different things are changing. So I think you'll enjoy it. One thing I do want to mention that's brought to my attention. Last week I was telling you about the psychic healer mediumship course at Hay House, and it's done very well. We did, and there it is right there. It's really great to find out what your soul resonates toward, whether it's a psychic or intuitive self, or your mediumship, where you're able to feel and sense beings around you, or healer, using the healing universal energy to heal, to bring balance to people. So you can go there and take the test about that. And they're keeping it open for one more day because they had some kind of a glitch on their internet site. So they're keeping that course open one more day. So you should sign up. It's doing very well. A lot of people are really happy. I did a live event the other day with it. I'm going to do another one because we have a lot of new people that are signing up now. So if you sign up now, I will be doing another event live. So don't worry about that. You'll get that. So thank you very much, Laura. Love to see you, Laura. Love seeing your name. I'll see you tonight too. Yeah, the link is under my name on the chat room. James and Project Experience Hay House. That's where you click, everybody. So click that if you could. Yes, I know. I'm with you, sweetheart Karen. Watch the remakes. Watch the replays of the one for. Okay. Yes, you can watch the replays of the Hay House series. It's fine. Perfect. The live event was awesome. It wasn't it? I thought it was a really awesome event, and the readings were phenomenal on that event. I think I'll be doing another one though because I really enjoyed it so much that I told the Hay House people I will do another one in the middle of the course. During it, I will do another one. So it was such a great. That was great. So I'll do another one of those. And I'm doing a lot more, again, a lot more demonstrations on the Zoom because a lot of people are around the world or not here in California. So make sure you register your email. So the next events that I'm doing demonstrations, and I'll probably do them a lot more often. Make sure that you're be notified through the email. Okay, things are changing very quickly. Things are very fast, aren't they? My goodness, I was just on. I'm going to do an event in April, my first live event, and that is April 23rd in Peekskill, New York, which is upstate New York. And people have had tickets for 3 years for before COVID, and they're still held on to those tickets. I think they have 500 tickets sold, and they've held on to them. Believe it or not, they've held on to those tickets. So I'm going back there and doing my live event. And I went on to called United Airlines to get my ticket set, to make sure it's all set. And it was all robots, and I was like, okay, James, patience. One day I wanted them to say, okay, so if you're wearing a shirt, press one. If you're wearing a t-shirt, press two. It's just so crazy. What a crazy world, right? I Boston area. I don't. I used to go to Boston all the time, because things have changed so much with COVID right now. Waiting to see what's happening as far as live events, and this first one in April will be one of the ones I'm having. I'm probably gonna have some retreats here in San Diego, in-person retreats. So I might be doing a lot of that. Because I missed really the Mediumship 3 and Mediumship 2 courses when I was in person with those people, with some of you guys that were there. I miss working physically with people. I really miss that. So I'm going to do a lot more of that. And I'm just probably do it in California because it's such a great place for people to come to. It's a great destination. They can do so much while they're here, and this area in San Diego is really open for that. So you saw me on a live event in New Jersey, Barbara. Those were some events I had in New Jersey, all over the New Jersey, actually. Yes. Hi from Tampa. Hello. You have tickets for April. Oh, did you buy them? Oh, great. Joanne Emmanuel. But tickets are good, 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 good. Okay. This is my office where I'm sitting here. Yeah, this is my office. Josephine has a question. This is my office right here. Kelly White said she stole my idea with the books, which I told her to do. Hi, James. Question. I put in the 4-day seminars, but I have a question I didn't get answered. Please ask. Do you only speak with loved ones that cross over, or can you speak with other spirit guides? That's a very good question, Josephine. I do speak with spirit guides. It is rare. I'll tell you, it is rare. And it's rare because for me, I'm an evidence based medium, which means I need evidential details. But I do get guides that come through for sure. So they do come through. The way they communicate is a bit different than humans. For me, with guides, it really is a sense of an energetic communication, and they really it's a different type of communication, like I say. So I always tell people to help themselves, to talk to the guides, really connecting with them, their own self, and how to do that easier for them than me. And I'm such a Virgo. I'm such a Capricorn Virgo. I'm just like, this makes sense because I'm so evidence based that I really want them to know who's speaking. And I think it's a relationship that you have to have with your soul, with your guides, and I help you with that. But yeah. Anyway, that's the answer to your question. I hope. Okay. And I have a bunch of questions I didn't answer at the Hay House event. So any more questions you have would be great, or I'll read some of these that people have. So Renee, any questions people have, you can put up here if you'd like. That's fine. And if not, I'll just read these that I have here. I'll read one of these. Okay. Here's one which says, "Do we do a protection prayer?" It's a good one. I think so. I answered this before too, but I will again. Do we do a protection prayer before we use our talents on anyone? I think we should be protected while asking anything to come into our space. Well, yes and no in that. So let's think about that. If you ask for protection, that means that you're saying that there's something to be protected against, which in my belief system there isn't. So fear is human. Fear is human. All there is love. So it's the mindset that you go in there with. And I think when you talk about the spirit world, and you have to realize that when you connect with them, that for them to connect through you, they go through your filters, if you will, your experiences as a child, your background in religion, or whatever it might be, that there might be something evil, or that's all your past stuff. That's fear based. I don't think there's anything that can hurt you. I don't think there's anything to be protected from except your own mind. I really do. I think your mind can create things. I think that's pure love. So before you sit with anybody or do the work, whether it's healing, psychic, or mediumship, I think that you yourself have to really work at bringing your own energy, your own mindset to a high space of love, high space of vibration, a high space of compassion and frequency. It's almost like having a party. I talk about this a lot when you have a party at your house or in the space. You want to make sure you clean it up. You might have some music. You might have some food. You got that set up. Put up some drinks and move the furniture around. Have a nice space all set up. Same thing when you do your work. In your mind, you've got to set up a space of yourself, of the mindset, that you're ready to receive the highest possible connection, way beyond the human. So the fastest way of doing that, of course, is love. So generating that love over and over and over again, and loving self and understanding yourself, and bringing yourself up to a higher level of awareness. That you know what, and you don't have to have your parents, or your family, or friends love you to love yourself. I just found out this weekend. I went through two friends, and well, they were my friends, but I thought they were my friends. But everyone is a season in your life is a season, reason, lifetime. And there are some people that did something which is not is very inconsiderate. I thought for me, and I didn't want to have that energy around me. So I was like, okay, bye bye. I will not have that around my space. And we got to do that. We got to cleanse our spaces a lot around the environment we live, who we socialize with. I won't accept things much anymore. I'm thinking maybe it's because I'm getting older, but life's too short. People got to support you. They can't take away from you. So enhancing you, not distracting you. Yeah, very important. Okay, another question. So that's about the protection. All right. Okay, we have James mentioned that rushing development can lead to issues like cancers, autoimmune disorders. How can this be avoided, and how do we know our pacing is appropriate and not rushed? Heather. Very, very good question, Heather. And I mention this a lot in development as a medium, because when you're working as a medium and you're developing as a medium, you got to realize that you're not only developing the spiritual self, the spiritual body, the light body, but you're also letting the spirit people, the guides who are doctors, chemists, who are working with this vessel on many levels, that they're working also when they integrate, if you will, and and bring the vibration to a higher level. It's very much like, oh gosh, the comparison. I feel it's like working on a car engine, and changing the valves, and moving the carburetor, and turning this and turning that, and really dialing in, if you will, certain aspects of our being, whether it's the emotional body, the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body, that they're doing that. And we got to give them time to do that, right? You cannot rush it. It's like you can't rush a flower to grow. It's got to grow naturally. So there are natural, if you will, natural aspects of our being that have to be worked on, and let them use them or work on them accordingly. I think that, in physically speaking, for me personally, and I know other people who have suffered from this, I haven't suffered from it, thank God, because I sat in development for 7 years without doing one reading, because I was aware of the changes that happen in the physical body. And changes can be hormonal changes, because they're working very much on the adrenal system. And they're opening you up, and they're using, if you will, the adrenal energy, the chemicals of the body, the brain, and they work with that. So it's almost like um, you should not rush it, because it's like when you bake a cake, you can't bake it too quickly. It's got to bake at a certain time and temperature. And that's really what the same thing with development. There's a certain amount of time. And really, you want to, so as much as you can, in order to be integrated. And I can just say, because remember, you're dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. Your own stuff has to be brought up. A lot of times when you're studying development, your own emotional stuff comes up from your past. Your own traumas come up. They got to be looked at. They got to be dealt with. If you shove them back down and just go ahead and do readings, something's going to happen. So you've got to make sure all that stuff is worked out, and that'll be worked through in development. So I never would rush development. I would get to a space, and the only thing I'd say to you, sweetheart, because it's different for every person, is that I this Heather, that when you feel, personally, I can't give you a time, 2 to 3 years development before I do anything. When you feel that you're properly imbalanced emotionally and physically, mentally, because also if you develop too quickly and you jump into it, you can pick up things on an emotional level, on a mental level, and it'll a disorder that it's come from, that you're picking up some disorder from the spirit world. If you don't know how to properly integrate that or process that, that might affect you as well. And you might think it's yours, but it's not yours. So all these little things we got to be very, very mindful of in the development of mediumship. So I hope that helps, Heather. Okay. Angie Consini, can we still get tickets to the New York event? Yes. Tickets to the New York event, vampire.com under events. There's still tickets available. That'd be great to see you come there. Peekskill's a great little town. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful. It's a Sleepy Hollow. That's that whole area up there in the Hudson. It's a wonderful area there. I was there, I think in October once. It was just perfect with the autumn leaves. Okay, Mercy Grace. Okay, I'm a medium. Didn't believe till I actually did. Did you mention? Hold on. Here we go. Mercy Grace. Okay, I'm a medium, but didn't believe till I actually did your meditation and spoke to my loved one. But I was hearing a lot of voices and they kept telling me I'm a medium, but I didn't know what that was. So I started taking psychotic drugs. But the voices didn't go away. Psychotic drugs wouldn't certainly help that. If anything, make it worse. Anyway, I found out that the Bible could make it even worse. Okay. And my church believed that medium is a big sin. Oh, that's even bad. So I was torn to talk to spirits. So I stopped talking to them. I went back to talk to them, but no one comes through. What is that? Gee, mercy, grace. I think if I were you, you have a lot of stuff there. Psychotic drugs. I hope you're no longer taking that. Therapy would be very good. Bible, it's a lot of that stuff, the religious stuff. A lot of us got to go through religion, and we brought up that way that it's evil. Jesus was a medium. Hello, religions. I don't want to give away the power. The Vatican is the number one library in the world, the number one esoteric library. They have all the esoteric books about mediumship and so forth, and the esoteric studies, and so much that they own them. I don't think they want to give away the power of that we take responsibility for ourselves, that we ourselves are God. And Jesus was just a man who used that God force so strong within him and around him that created they called miracles, which is really mediumship in the form of materialization, physical mediumship. We created things, if that's what you believe. So I think you got to go do some soul searching and be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you who you are or what to do or your family. No. And you need to develop slowly, develop and have first a sense of yourself. Religion and all that, don't think negative. You got to start thinking positive. It's all about love. Fear is only human. Fear is a wasted emotion, and fear is a human byproduct. Love is spirit. That's something we always want to remember, that fear is human. The war going on now is based on total fear, not love. So remember that. I mean, look around you. See how many things are fear-based and how many things are love-based. If it's fear-based, it's probably that limited human perception. Okay, new comments. Okay. Pat Lang, James, is your course something that can be done at one's leisure on their own time, or is it scheduled? No, it is at your own time, at your own time. That's what makes it great. You do it on your own time. The hardest part of my course is the commitment that you're going to do to it, and do it wholeheartedly. I think any course one should take should be full-hearted, not wholehearted, not half-heartedly, because you want to get the most out of it. It's not something like just to write, right? It's to live it, start living it. These courses that I designed in my school, the JP School of Mystical Arts, those are all courses that are livable courses. Oh, thanks, Renee. That's my school. They're livable courses, and it'll change your life if you let it. It'll change your perspective of living. They change your perspective of how you approach choices in your life, how you look at yourself in your life, how to have a new relationship in your life, how to let go of those people in your life that are holding on to you, that are not bringing anything in your life to you but negativity. And it's treating yourself as a sacred soul, and that's really what those courses are all about. Each one of those courses in my school are very sacred. Otherwise, I would not do them. They're there to help and teach and to expand your consciousness and your sense of self, and to serve humanity in the best way you possibly can. And again, you can't think about it. You got to feel it. You got to go with your heart. I always say live with your heart first. Because we think of things and overthink things, we'll get to the fear zone, or we get to the left critical analytical part of us, which it's okay to have its time and place, an analytical part, no doubt about it. End of monthly statements and an accountant, fine. We need the left brain. Figure out invoices and bills and United Airlines, left brain. So it's all like, we need that, but don't let that run your life. Your heart should run your life. And that's what my courses are designed for. Okay. Nancy Sinclair, I just started your online program being a spiritual healer this weekend. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. God bless you and good luck with it. I know you'll use it. I know they'll use it for the rest of your life. So good for you. Very good. Mary, hi, Mary. Gadaska Presente. Will you be coming back to Ridgefield Playhouse, Connecticut? It's a very, very good question. Ridgefield Playhouse, Connecticut. I will try to. That's like my home, so I will try to go back there. I've just started thinking about, dates again. So that is on the top of my list for sure. So look out for it. Make sure you're on my email list. I will try and get back to Ridgefield. How's that? If I do Ridgefield, I'll do the whole East Coast. I'll do Boston, Connecticut, and New York and New Jersey. I'll do those 4 cities. How's that? Let me write that down. Okay. 4 cities, East Coast. Okay. I do a lot of my stuff based on your questions you ask me too. Hi, Anne. Hi, I'm from Sweden. I love Sweden. I love your book, Soul's Adventure, Adventures of Soul. Yep, the book where the beginning for me to actually believe the life after this. Oh, that's very good, Anne. Very good. There's another book in Sweden which if you can't find it, you'll have to send me an email, because I do have some books in my garage, Swiss books. I have 50 languages my books are in. Talking to Heaven. I don't know what the translation is, but that's the first book I wrote, and it was definitely in Swiss. It's in 50 languages. So if you can't find it, I have one I could send to you. But try to go get in your Amazon. You might have Amazon, but that's a good book you should read. Thanks, Anne. Okay. Kelly, tell me, how do I learn my spirit guide? I have a wonderful course in my school, JP School of Mystical Arts, about spirit guides, discovering your spirit guides. It's a whole process, so it's not an easy answer, but that's the best place I would do that. That is the school. Okay, Lori Nault, I need some help to get closure. I'm missing my recent losses. Okay, but that's fine. Again, I go to the school page and look and see what's there, because there's some wonderful stuff about healing grief over there. I wrote a book called Healing Grief. There's some grief courses, A Day in Heaven, which is a wonderful meditative program I do with people who have lost people. Check that out. That's the best thing you could check out, sweetheart. Um, Depending on what you want, I don't know what you want. So, and if you want a reading by someone, that's on my website, vanprog.com. I have practitioners on there who are mediums who do readings. I don't do them anymore, but I referred them. So I have the school for you. I have my books about grief, and I have um, um, uh, the books, the courses, and mediums. So if that's what you want. Okay, good luck, sweetheart. Okay, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. How do we find out if this isn't our first time here, past lives? I guarantee you, Kelly, if you're sitting here on my site right now, this is not your first time, because you wouldn't be drawn to this if this was your first time here. You would probably think this was a bunch of hokey stuff, and you wouldn't be drawn to it. So there's an affinity or resonation to it, and so this is not your first time. And really, for a soul, we have to realize there are millions and millions of galaxies. This is not the only one. So as a soul, we can travel all over, and part of our soul might be living in another space and place right now as we're speaking here physically. So that's the immensity of our souls. Lisa, hi Lisa. Do you connect in or work with archangels? I don't work with archangels directly. I will say though, when I do work, and we all work, I think that there's a stepping, if you will, a way, a step where one level works with another level below it, and another level below it, and so forth. So I think those beings are being worked with their guides, and their guides, their angels, their archangels. So I believe there is that sort of a way of looking at it. That's what I understand it to be. So in an indirect way, I would say yes. Terry Young, do spirits get older in heaven? Will my baby still be a baby when I see him in heaven? Yes, you should read my book, Growing Up in Heaven, Terry. That was a book I wrote about babies that pass over. Okay. Yes, they can choose to do that. They can choose to do anything they want. They can choose to go back to another life, look like they did their personality in another lifetime, or they can grow through what they would have missed, if you will, here on the earth. Sometimes they will go to schools over there. Sometimes they will learn to bring out sort of their abilities and gifts of who they are and their soul self. There are places over there and there are spaces over there where they can mature those abilities, and they do finish school over there. I've heard they have choice to do that. They can perfect those abilities as writing or music or history. They can study all the types of history on this planet, other spaces, so they can grow up over there. Yes, indeed. Whenever I bring through a baby, it's very interesting because there's no evidence of the baby. So usually when a baby comes to me in a reading, it would always be someone who's, I look and see who's holding the baby, who brings the baby to me. And there's the evidence of the person that's holding the baby, the person, the recipient would know. But yes, very much so. And be open to the dreams and be open to the realization. Such humans think that, when babies die, that's the worst thing possible. But we don't know if that was set up in a soul group reading, a meeting before you came back on the incarnation. We sit with our teachers and guides and soul group, our soul group, and we decide who's going to go through this experience or this lesson. Because remember, these are all soul lessons that we're going through, and that you and that particular soul might have needed that experience in order to learn something about yourselves, about each other, about the world around you, maybe to help someone else later on, maybe help in that soul's development. So there are all different reasons. So nothing to me is ever oh, I don't know. I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe in curses necessarily. I don't believe in things that happen just happen. I think there's always something behind it for the reason. Okay. Joey, hi Joey. I'm watching from Iowa. Good, very good. How is Iowa? First time seeing live. Hey Joey, nice to meet you and welcome. And I hope you learn something new or look at something different. And that's why we're here. And thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. Pat, hi Pat. Would the course pertain to those wishing to connect to spirit and loved ones, but not learn to be a medium per se? I just want to be more open and sensitive to any guidance and messages. Check out the school better. Mediumship 1 is probably the better course for you at my own school, JP School of Mystical Arts. The Healer Psychic Medium course from Hay House is to see which one of those you are or which will you resonate toward. And it's really it's for those who are interested in pursuing healer psychic medium. So my mediumship 1 course would probably be the best one for you to connect with loved ones, if you will. Okay, that'll give you the guidelines and groundwork about that. Okay. Okay, Madonna Sisk, love your gift. Thank you. Can you give me guidance how to make my gift stronger? Sure. You can take the time to be with yourself and learn about who you are. And meditation is a good way. There are types of meditation, but first learning about your own self, your own heart self. Sitting, I often every week I would talk about sitting in the quiet of your being, and that's sitting really. I sit in a walk-in closet. That's it behind me right there, right over there, and I sit there and 15 minutes a day, and I just relax and work my breath, and I begin to become aware of the layers all around me and the heart space, and how that lovely energy, that love of my soul, permeates through all those layers. And it helps me to have a better relationship with who I am and learn who I am, not who I think I am, but who I am. So part of learning about that, your gift is to taking the time, really taking the time to be with who you are and learning who you are. Because who you think you are and who you actually are many times are two very different things. So good luck, Madonna. Take time, be patient. Okay. Okay. Hi, Dana. How do you deal with people that have hurt you and find love when you're angry, especially when you have children and you can't just walk away? How could you? Well, first of all, marriage counseling I think would be great. Therapy is great. I've always said, really, really promoter of therapy. I think it's one of the best things ever. I've gone through it myself in many situations. To have some objective, in this case, a marriage family counselor probably best, I would think. I just realize when people hurt me, if I look at it that way, hurt me. I know they hurt me, but I just get a sense that they're unaware of that. They're unaware. They might be limited. They might not be aware that they hurt me. They didn't mean to. Maybe they're just unaware of that. So I've got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're unaware, and I'll make them aware of it. I'll say, I just want to let you know, and I want to judge them and say, this is how I look at things, and this hurt me in this way, and they might not understand that. I had to go through this just very recently with a family member, and it's like, I'd explain to them this is how it was perceived by me. This is how I received this. And there was this certain thing was inappropriate. And the person said, thank you for letting me know that. I had no idea. So many times we get that sense of someone hurting us, they're the person that we perceive hurts us has no clue they did that. So number one, educating them. Um, Finding love when you're angry. I don't know when you find love when you're angry. How can you find love when you're angry? You bring angry out to the universe. You bring that energy out there. How you gonna find love if you have that negativity out there, right? So you gotta first gotta forgive. I guess would be the best way. It depends on your situation. And again, therapy is one of the best things. Having children and you just can't walk away. Well, again, I gotta say that's the best thing. Marriage, family counseling, best thing. Okay. Hi, Laura. James, Thursday during meditation, I'm at my mediumship guide. Very good. Excellent. You usually have more than one guide, though. So just one step forward, probably that maybe your main could be the main guide for your mediumship. The guide stepped forward during my reading. I had no clue mediumship a special guide. We call them the doorkeeper, or the gatekeeper, is what we call them, or the door guide, or the gatekeeper. That's really the main guide you'd have for mediumship. And they change, by the way. When as you develop, they will develop. I started the Zulu warrior, who was my gatekeeper, and that has since changed because of my readings. My development has changed. When we do readings, mine is Aboriginal Clyde guide. An Aboriginal guide sounds right. Sounds right to me. Very much so. Very very much so. Sounds right, Laura. Feels right. Medium Tom Owen. Hi, Medium Tom Owen. Why you should just put Tom Owen? I wouldn't even put medium Tom Owen. Just say Tom Owen, right? Could you tell me what your advice would be about connecting to recently departed spirits? I had a reading recently that I didn't know that they had recently passed. And the spirit kept turning away as if they weren't ready to speak. Thanks, James. Well, Tom, again, I'm going to repeat what I said before, which is sitting in the quiet, sitting in the quiet of your being, and doing it for at least a week, like 15 minutes a day. That will start it. And many times we sit like that many people say, well, I have a monkey mind, there are things in my head, and that's okay. It will. It's normal, it's natural that you'll have these weird thoughts. But what happens when you have thoughts with meditation, and this is a passive meditation what I'm talking about, is you just acknowledge you're going to have those weird thoughts come into the head. That's fine. But I also go back to the breath. Then I'll go back to breathing in my nose and out of my mouth. I usually breathe in 3 counts, out 5. And I just go back to that breath, like breathing and all the way out to my feet. And I acknowledge that thing and just let it go and go back to my breath. Best way to do it. So try that. That will really help you. And that will help you in your mediumship. Nanette, hi, I'm an empath. I bet you are. Did you go to the Hay House healing guide, mediumship, in psychic? I'm just curious. Everyone in my family, including mom, who's deceased, I have found that if I remember to shut it off, it does. If I don't remember, oh boy, got any advice for empathetic soul? Well, yes, there's a course I have in my school called Tools for the Highly Sensitive. That's perfect. That is perfect for you if you're an empath and you need how to learn how to shut things off, open up, shut down. And you really need to get into that habit of doing that because you don't want to remain completely open all the time, let things just happen to you. You don't want to do that because you pick up energy from all over the place. You only really open up when you're working, if you will. Well, that's really what you have to get into the habit of doing. You can't just walk out there and just walk in the middle of traffic, right? It's like walk in the middle of traffic. You wouldn't do that. So you should learn how to open up and close down when it's proper. And that's the best class I've created for that. Tools for the highly sensitive. Okay. Thanks, Danette. Good luck. You have responsibility. So remember that to yourself and others. Okay. Renee Went. I know you say we choose when to come back to Earth and when to leave. It says we have free will. Is it possible for someone else with free will to end your life before you exit? Yes, Ren. Yes, I agree. Yes, I've actually mentioned that in a book of mine. I do believe that someone else's free will can definitely invade our destiny. Okay, and then we can call it karma, or an energy is set up between those souls. Then I often use the analogy, which is getting old these days, but ATM machines where someone gets some money and someone behind them sticks them up and asks for their money and kills them in the process, or something like that. And that wasn't necessarily destined to happen. That person is holding the gun's free will to steal from that person and kill them. That free will of theirs and ended that person's life. That's an example of that. Now, so that's an example of that. But again, it's not all the time. So when you see that there's someone that kills someone else, that might be someone's free will getting involved, or it might not. It might be a destiny point. So it's different with each experience. Every single situation is different, but that is a possibility. Okay. Kathy, hi Kathy. I think my dad leaves dimes around. Yes, so the number one way spirits communicate are the dream state. They will often send this. We're in a dream state. It feels different than a regular dream. It's almost like I call them crossovers because we're right there with them. Everything's so real. Had happened many times, and that's in our dream state, different level of consciousness, and that is one way. The next way they can do is many ways they come through. They will give you thoughts when you're driving your car or taking a shower. When you're not thinking, they can get into your head. When you're driving your car and you're thinking of them, they usually sitting next to you, sending you a thought. So that happens. Dimes, pennies, quarters. I'm still waiting for dollar bills. I haven't done that one yet. But there's another way they can come through. They can come through with feathers. They can come through animals too. They can oppress animals, certain birds, if you will, or any types of animals, really. They also can impress on your mind. So it's in your mind, they'll impress you. Maybe to look at a certain person when walking down the aisle of a supermarket, and that person happens to look just like them in your mind's eye. So there are different ways that they try to get through to us every day. But we're so focused sometimes, we're not open to receiving the signs because we're just so focused on 9 to 5, overthinking, critical mind, that we're not open to the subtleties that are all around us. And they're all around us, trust me. I've worked in the garden now for 7 years. And let me tell you, I ease the mind from working in the garden, you really start opening up and feeling and sensing things. One of the best things to do that I've found by working in a garden is you learn, you become more sensitized, and it's great. It's great. In one way, it's great. And some ways, it's difficult because you got to deal back with the humans, and it's a little harder in some respects to see that. But you step out and you become very objective, and you see things, observing things. You really become more observant, if you will, about humans. It's very interesting. Okay. Um, Joan Walker, how long does it take to receive contact from your past loved ones that are passing? Was a month ago. So Joan, they usually usually they can come right back to you. It depends on the type of death that they experience. It was something which was very traumatic, which, let's say they were sick for a long time and they were in a hospital or a hospice, and it really drained the prana, the energy of the body for a while. Many times they have to, if you will, re-energize themselves, adapt to their new life, and then come have the energy come back. That being said, I've heard and that every spirit goes to the memorial service or funeral. They may have to come back another time to be able to send the process thought to you, feeling. And the best thing that one can do, the person left behind here, this physical earth, I should left behind, the ones that feel in the body, because they're just out of the body. It's the only difference. Is to really be more open. If we think about them and think about them, we kind of block that space for them to come in. So the more open we can be, the easier it is for them to come through. I was telling someone this yesterday. They can come through depending on the death again very quickly. I did a demonstration for in some place, and I was giving a reading to a girl in the audience, and her mother came through and said, I died of a heart attack, and this is all new to me. And the daughter said, no, she didn't. She's at home. And I said, well, she said she just died of a heart attack. And we found out that the mother had died while the girl was in transit from her place to the event, to the venue. So that happened very quickly. So anything is possible. Okay, Vivian. Hi, Vivian. Question: is being open all the time to spirit dangerous? There we go again. Danger protection. Or should opening and closing it down be part of our learning? Opening and closing down, like I mentioned just before, that you need to learn in your mediumship or in your or any type of work. Even by the way, doing doctor. It's so funny. I have a doctor friend, and I said, "Well, it's a matter of." And I used to do massage therapy for 7 years, and I got into that. And I used to go to this habit. Then the habit was I wash my hands after every person, and I run my energy the whole time. That mattered because didn't want to hold on to any energy from the person I was working on. So same thing when we do therapeutic work. I taught a doctor friend of mine to do that, and I said, "You need to, when you wash your hands." He goes, "Well, I don't necessarily wash my hands." And I said, "You need to wash your hands. You're a doctor, for God's sake." So you need to go through that sense, even if it's in your mind, to opening up and closing down. Definitely part of the opening. Tools for the highly sensitive at JVP School of Mystical Arts, definitely another one. That's where I teach that, and it's really, really important that you do that. You do not want to be Swiss cheese, and you will be if you just open yourself up. You'll be Swiss cheese. Remember, all around us are thoughts. There's all thought forms all around us. People's thoughts go out into the ethers, and when you're a highly sensitive person and you're completely open, you're going to pick up on these thoughts. That energy is just. In my book, Talking to Heaven, I talk about we wear the Velcro suit. A Velcro suit thing just stick on you. And you don't want to just be vulnerable and everything is stick on you. I think you got to be mindful, being aware with your mind of energy of when of this instrument, of this vessel that your soul is in this vessel, and you really got to learn how to become more if you will, in control of the vessel. It's like a car, it's like an automobile. You have to learn how to drive. Same thing with this vessel. You can't just like open yourself up. So really, really important that you do that. Everybody here that who's into this really should learn about that. Opening up, closing down, running your energy, running your energy. I run my energy 40 times, no, 20 times a day, not 40, 20 times a day. I do it when I'm walking, when I'm gardening. I run my energy. It's a mindset of cleansing things out and opening things up, closing things down. So I got that is all in my course. Yeah, the tools of the highly sensitive. Good one to have. Okay. Yes, go to experience. Yes, for Hay House Healer Psychic Mediumship course, it's open. Today is the last day for you to register for that course. So there's your link there for that course, and you can find out if you're more of a healer or medium or psychic. So go there. And then tonight, on both sides now and beyond, with my good friend Kelly White. Kelly is well, I love Kelly. I love you, Kelly. And Kelly's pretty intense as far as she's a great psychic, a great medium, and a therapist. And she uses different ways of tuning in. And one of the things she uses is what's called destiny cards, and they are so accurate. And you can get the destiny cards. She's going to tell you how to use them. I'll be with her, and it's been one of the most accurate things. It's not numerology. She'll explain the history of destiny cards, but it's really incredible. It depends on your birth date. So that's tonight, right here. So we'll talk about the science of destiny cards, and look forward to seeing you all then. Okay, and thank you very much. And again, the Hay House course is right there. The link is right there to my name in the chat room. And thank you for joining me, everybody. Have a blessed day.